Nobody wanted a metallic card as a wedding card and all. So yeah, you keep on upgrading yourself, changing as per the taste. It's more like a fashion industry, not like a paper industry.
Good way of putting it.
Yeah.
Fashion in the paper industry. ये नया लोगों को चाहिए.
ये होता है. आप कभी भी कस्टमर मेरा है ना, हर 2-3 महीने के बाद बात होगा तो बोलेगा अच्छा हिरन में कुछ नया लाया हुआ. ग्रैंडफादर फादर हम लोग पूरा दिन पेपर वही डिस्कस. कहीं हम होटल में भी जाएंगे तो पहले मेन्यू कार्ड की क्वालिटी खोल के देखेंगे. होटल में जाएंगे तो लेटर देखेंगे कौन सा यूज़ किया है या विजिटिंग कार्ड कौन सा है. प्रिंटर एंड पेपर ट्रेडर्स आर लाइक हस्बैंड एंड वाइफ. हम पूरा दिन कैसे भी कुछ भी झगड़ा कर ले, रात को सोना सेम बेड पे सेम बेडरूम में है. सो अगर हमको एक पेंशन वाला स्कीम दे दे, समझो हम 25 या 30 ईयर एक कंपनी चलाते हैं, रेगुलरली हम जीएसटी भरते हैं और टैक्सेस भरते हैं, ये भरते हैं, तो सैलरी वाले को तो वो पेंशन, हमारे को कुछ नहीं मिलता है.
Today we have a paper trader and a finest one at that. He is Hiren Karia of Jairaj Fine Paper, part of the Shah Devji Group, one of the oldest importers and paper traders in the country. What makes Hiren stand apart is he's been able to forge a collaboration with his own competitors, a partner from Delhi, another from South. They have together been able to build a brand and sell papers across the country under the brand Galgo Fine Papers. They don't compete with each other, but instead they collaborate. I think it's a great idea for people across segments and industries to think of this, how they could collaborate with their competitors and grow business in their own respective regions. Hiren is also being selected by ICICI Bank to be their brand ambassador. He has spoken in great detail of the experience, why he was selected, and he's also one amongst the very few guys in India who's been selected for this. I think it was an amazing conversation. Let's go ahead and watch the episode. Hi Hiren bhai, welcome to Ink Stories.
Hi, thank you.
I have heard about Jairaj Paper, for a very long time. It's a pleasure to have you and having a conversation about your journey. And I must tell you, you're the first guest from the paper industry. So, there is a lot of expectations from the paper industry. People who are going to watch the video and knowing about kya Hiren bhai bolenge. So, let's go ahead into the conversation.
Yeah. Thank you for having me here. My pleasure.
Great. Thanks for coming. So I think first thing is we would like to know about your journey. Where did you start? What is the background? Where did this whole Jairaj Paper thing start?
So Jairaj Fine Paper Company is a part of Shah Devji Shivji and Company Group. Shah Devji Shivji is one of the oldest paper merchant importer in India and Mumbai. Started in 1960 by my grandfather, Mr. Devji Shivji Karia. From there, right up till 1996, when I joined as a trainee in my Shah Devji Shivji for 1 year. And then we started this Jairaj Fine Paper Company in 1997, 15th August. The idea was just because we were like, new generation was entering the business. So to have more verticals and, to do something else. So we started Jairaj Fine Paper Company and we started with Century Paper Mills at that time and Senarmas at that time.
Okay.
I was very young at that time and very restless, so always wanted to do something different. And I think 1 year down the line, around in 1998, JK Paper Mills at that time had got this agency of Arjo Wiggins, Conqueror brand.
Right.
And they were looking for an dealer in Western Zone.
Okay.
Somebody in the marketplace, prominent marketplace where they can put the material for display and, cater to the audience and clients. So that is how we came into fine paper.
Jairaj that's the into fine story.
Paper thanks to JK Paper. And we enjoyed doing fine paper. And somewhere down the line, that agency did not stay with JK Paper and it shifted to somebody else.
Okay.
And so again, we thought, like, since we enjoyed doing it, we should try something else. So at that time, we partnered with Galgo Fine Papers.
Achha.
And we started Galgo Fine Papers.
Achha.
And from that day onward, it's been a very, very interesting and a fruitful journey for us. We've learned a lot. We've created a market of fine papers, prime grades. So originally, before the fine paper grades were all stock lots and odd lots in the market.
Right.
Never consistent, you could not use it for the second time if you want the same paper.
And not sure will you get the same material.
Never. So through prime grade of fine paper, we created this market. And yeah, we've been constantly, changing the paper as per the market demand and supply requirements.
I'm sure.
So once upon a time, metallic papers were very hot cake. All wedding cards majorly were on metallic papers. Then I think 2-3 years down the line, that trend changed. Completely changed. So it went out of style. Nobody wanted a metallic card as a wedding card and all. So yeah, you keep on upgrading yourself, changing as per the taste. It's more like a fashion industry, not like a paper industry.
Good way of putting it.
Yeah.
Fashion in the paper industry. ये नया लोगों को चाहिए.
ये होता है. आप कभी भी कस्टमर मेरा है ना, हर 2-3 महीने के बाद बात होगा तो बोलेगा, अच्छा हिरन में कुछ नया लाया है. हर 2-3 महीने में मैं क्या नया लाया. But yeah, the thing is, yeah, you have to keep on changing,
upgrading.
अगर कुछ पेपर प्रोडक्ट चेंज भी नहीं किया तो एटलीस्ट सैंपल बुक का डिजाइन चेंज कर दो. उनको लगेगा कि
चेंज किया.
But yeah, let me say one thing, that when we started and what fine paper is today, Indian market has matured a lot.
Okay.
So
you practically started from zero?
Yeah.
97, 98 में तो fine paper होता ही नहीं होगा?
Yeah, only stock lots.
Tell us more. I'm sure there will be more story. I don't want to come to 2023 directly.
मैं वही बताना चाहता हूँ कि वहाँ पे there was one particular lead grade of variety, lead.
Okay.
Stationery segment and that only. From that till today, you see the paper in fine paper has, seen so many variants. Uncoated papers, coated papers, rough gloss variety, which is huge. Koreans are dominating this rough gloss variety.
Achha.
So basically, this is where our stronghold in Jairaj is our rough gloss. We are one of the largest sellers of rough gloss in India.
Okay, so which application this is used for?
Basically, it's used in catalogs, brochures, textile brochures.
Just for people who are not from this industry of paper, to give an understanding to them, specialty paper क्या है and how it is different from the regular papers.
So, specialty grade ऐसा होता है जिसमें कुछ अलग होता है यार. There's some, for example, metallic paper है, तो उसके अंदर sheen है, glitter है. ये rough gloss paper है, so basically feel of an uncoated paper. But when you print it, it will give you a result of a coated paper.
Oh, okay.
So it's got that pigment coating.
So anything which is not maplito and all those commodity varieties नहीं है वो specialty में. And आप लोग उसके special dealers हो.
In the graphic industry. And now maybe gradually we are shifting towards the luxury part of that in packaging.
Okay.
Luxury packaging. Which I think will give you a next very big opportunity in India.
Okay.
The way things are turning up with our Prime Minister focusing on manufacturing and making India.
Yeah.
If you see recently all the headlines, iPhone wants to have more and more products made in India.
True.
So obviously once that kind of products or luxury watches, perfumes, cosmetics like L'Oreal, when they come and they start manufacturing
the
in
demand
India,
will zoom.
It will zoom and they want that particular grade of variety.
True.
So yeah, I think there's a huge scope for paper and especially the luxury grades of fine paper in India.
Lovely. So I mean in terms of मैंने बीच में वो सवाल पूछ दिया तो आप बता रहे थे कि आपका जर्नी जो है around how did you get into how did you grow this business?
So Jairaj Fine Paper is a part of Galgo Fine Paper. So Galgo Fine Paper की हमारी एक unique story है.
अच्छा.
So Galgo Fine Paper is basically a family of merchants. So we have Mr. Subodh Jain from Craftile International, Mr. Subodh Jain and Subodh Jain in Delhi. Galgo Fine Paper basically is a brand which belongs to Subodh Bhai. And under him, with Jairaj Fine Paper, then there's Fine Paper World in Bangalore, there's Chamunda Multimax in Ahmedabad.
Okay.
So we all basically come together and we sell this range of products.
But Galgo, as I understand, is a Spanish company.
So when we started, it was a Spanish company. And down the line in 2002 or 2003, the Galgo paper mill had some problems in financial problems in Spain.
Achha.
So they had to wind up, they had to liquidate. And since people in the market in India knew us as Galgo Papers, we wanted to capitalize on the branding part of that.
Good.
And we registered the Galgo Fine Paper brand.
Lovely.
So
you formed a consortium of these 4 or 5 people.
Yes.
And you are selling the Galgo brand.
So it's a unique combination के partners भी है और अलग भी है. You know, like for example, आज अगर मुझे हर जगह अपनी ब्रांच करनी हो, तो obviously I need to create that kind of an infrastructure. Regular travel करो, वहाँ पे देखो, वहाँ पे किसको credit जा रही है, कैसे inventory maintain हो रही है.
Correct.
So this is a unique experience we have, and yeah, we have been successful because individually हमारा सारा mindset same kind का mindset है. We gelled along together because we've been working together for such a long time. Wavelength match हो गई. Everybody is an expert in their own area. So मैं बॉम्बे या वेस्ट जोन बोलो तो आई एम गुड हियर. फाइन पेपर वर्ल्ड बैंगलोर में जो बैंगलोर और साउथ मार्केट में बहुत अच्छे is very good in the Delhi market, North market and the East market. So yeah, it's a good combination.
So you guys only do Galgo or या और भी कुछ है?
So we do Galgo fine papers and then we also have our own grade of papers.
खुद का brand.
So खुद की branding. Wherever we think that there is a market, say for example, down south and in Mumbai, there is a good export tag market. Which is not that strong in maybe Delhi market.
Okay.
So then we have certain grades of paper which we do imports in Mumbai, or maybe they do it in Bangalore and down south, where we cater to the export tag garment market. You know, there's a recommended papers which are FSC certified.
And that is which brand?
Tango fine papers.
Tango fine papers.
So basically, yeah, Jairaj में हम लोग दो branding होती है. One is Galgo fine papers and one is Tango fine papers.
Lovely. So आप लोग ये जो fine papers वाले ज़्यादा player तो नहीं है ना इंडिया में? There are very few.
I think yeah, you can say pan India तो मुझे लगता है दो ही group है. Galgo fine papers एक सोना पेपर्स है.
अच्छा, ये आप दो लोग ही डोमिनेट करते हो?
मेजरली ऐसा आई वुड नॉट से दो ही है, बट मेजर आप बाकी एवरी जोन में यू हैव 3-4 पीपल
जो इंपोर्ट करते होंगे
और अपने जोन में वो बेचते होंगे. या so but yeah, again not a very big trading community, very selective people are there in this. Yeah,
lovely. So in terms of any interesting episode, interesting thing around this journey of yours of 25-26 years?
So एक होता है, since we are a family business and third generation, life has been a little easy on me particularly because एकदम से फाइन पेपर वाज न्यू टू अस, बट पेपर ट्रेडिंग हैज बीन इन आवर ब्लड फ्रॉम लाइक बचपन से वही देखा है.
हाँ, शादेव जी तो बड़ा नाम है.
घर पे डिस्कशन होता है, ग्रैंडफादर फादर, हम लोग पूरा टाइम पेपर वही डिस्कस. कहीं हम होटल में भी जाएंगे तो पहले मेन्यू कार्ड की क्वालिटी खोल के देखेंगे. होटल में जाएंगे तो लेटर देखेंगे कौन सा यूज किया है या विजिटिंग कार्ड कौन सा है. सो इन टर्म्स ऑफ दैट पेपर nobody had to teach us anything, but yeah, fine paper के अपने challenges थे. It was a unique product.
Correct.
Market जो भी commodity grade से 3-4 times expensive product.
Correct.
Price driven product नहीं, marketing driven product है. तो उसके लिए वो infrastructure करना, because हम पेपर वालों को तो कभी marketing की ऐसे जरूरत नहीं होती, खाली दाम से बिकता है कि ये भाव है लेके जाओ. तो यहाँ पे it is not that. You have to sell as per the requirement of the customer and understand the need. And accordingly, market it accordingly. And yeah, so what challenges थे, maintaining the inventory is the biggest challenge because, these are all stock and sell items. They're not indent items. You don't know which order will come when. And वो time पे अगर वो order का lead time आपके पास नहीं है देने का material, then that order will not come to you. So maintaining the inventory of the product is the biggest challenge. Yeah. So that has been one of the biggest challenge. But otherwise, I've been very lucky. और ऐसे कोई major challenges नहीं है. Printer faculty में भी I think all my customers are very good friend of mine.
So you in terms of ये जैसे commodity papers है and specialty papers, as you rightly said कि commodity तो प्राइस पे बिकता है, 50 पैसा सस्ता या 1 रुपये सस्ता, और ये तो क्वालिटी और मार्केटिंग के ऊपर बिकता है. So in terms of if someone is thinking of getting into specialty papers, how would you advise कि क्या करना चाहिए?
सबसे पहले patience, because ये overnight जैसे if somebody is very used to commodity grade paper, he knows he can sell every day 10 tons, 5 tons, 20 tons of paper. It's not the case in fine paper. So patience is the game. बहुत product हम तो लाते हैं आज, उसका sale actually चालू होता है after 3 and 4 months, because product will come, sample books बनेंगे, market होगा, and then the demands get generated. तो वो जो gap होता है ना, बहुत बार 2 महीना, 3 महीना, 4 महीना, 6 महीना भी होता है.
Okay, यानी patience चाहिए. Patience is the key.
Yeah. तो that is the biggest challenge. अगर किसी को fine paper करना है, so first don't come with the mindset of a commodity grade. Patience, have decent margin, not like commodity grade 8 रुपया, because otherwise you will never survive in the fine paper.
Long run में नहीं manage
because of the inventory you have to maintain. And as I was just telling you that अगर कोई paper discontinue करना हो, for example अब एक paper trend से निकल गया, it's not selling that much and I have the inventory. So when I go to dispose of that material, it will only sell at 30%, 25%, 40% of the value of that paper.
Correct.
So that loss you can only take
if you have that margin.
If you have that margin.
Correct.
So many a times सबको लगता है fine paper वाले का margin बहुत ज़्यादा है. So they don't understand this thing that
Correct.
maintaining the stock, कितना huge inventory लेके बैठे हैं,
Correct.
उसके पीछे का effort, marketing cost is very high,
Correct.
right from the
Sampling.
sampling, sample books, marketing people we have.
Correct.
And then if some paper is not selling that way, then how you dispose it of? So obviously every aspect of that is covered in your selling price.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I think one question which people would want me to ask is कि आप ये पेमेंट का कैसे मैनेज करते हो? Because थोड़ा नाम तो खराब है प्रिंटर्स का.
नहीं ऐसा आई वुड नॉट से दैट प्रिंटर का नाम खराब है. वो एक क्या बोलते हैं ना, आई ऑलवेज टेल माई कस्टमर्स एंड माई फ्रेंड्स ऑल्सो कि प्रिंटर एंड पेपर ट्रेडर्स आर लाइक हस्बैंड एंड वाइफ. हम पूरा दिन कैसे भी कुछ भी झगड़ा कर ले, रात को सोना सेम बेड पे सेम बेडरूम में है. सो या डिपेंड्स, होता है कभी कभार किसी से problem, but you cannot generalize that, and we've been in this business for a long time, so I think majority of them perfect होते. कभी वो एक दो जन कहीं तो सब जगह हो जाता है. एग्जाम्पल
So how do you manage?
कोविड में हमने काफ़ी स्ट्रीमलाइन किया है. ऑब्वियसली एज यू सेड, आफ्टर सेइंग ऑल दिस थिंग ऑल्सो, वन थिंग इज फॉर श्योर, पैसे का काम पैसा करता है. मैं कितना भी किसी के साथ अच्छा दोस्ती हो या रिलेशन हो, एंड ऑफ द डे मुझे भी पेमेंट घर में नहीं रखना. आई हैव टू पे टू माय प्रिंसिपल
Obviously.
और माय अदर
Suppliers and other.
yeah.
providers.
So we also have streamlined in terms of कि एक लिमिट के बाद हम पेमेंट नहीं देंगे. सो वी हैव दिस, हमने हमारा सिस्टम में डाला हुआ है सॉफ्टवेयर में. एवरी कस्टमर हैज़ बीन ग्रेडेड, नंबर ऑफ डेज क्रेडिट और द अमाउंट. सो आइदर ऑफ कैन नॉट ब्रीच. अगर दिन उसके पूरे नहीं हुए लेकिन वो अमाउंट ब्रीच हो रहा है तो भी हम बता देंगे, और विल बी वेरी ट्रांसपेरेंट विद द कस्टमर. विल टेल हिम दैट.
So that's like how MNCs work in terms of having their customers.
Yeah.
You cannot bill further.
Exactly. So we have these limits. So obviously आगे उसको सॉफ्टवेयर उसको आगे उसके डिलीवरी चलानी नहीं बनाने देगा. So then because obviously we want to keep our risk also
As minimal as possible.
Yeah.
So you are a part of the association, like you were telling me something on the association part of how you've been and what's been your journey.
I started very young in my association in 2002.
अच्छा.
I joined as because हमारे बॉम्बे में AGM होने वाला था, फेडरेशन ऑफ पेपर ट्रेडर्स एसोसिएशन का. So at that time I joined in one of the sub committees and started working in that committee, and I enjoyed it. So I became more active in my Mumbai association at that time. And Mumbai association is like a small family of around 400 members. मैं वहाँ पे फिर gradually managing committee member बना. फिर I became a treasurer there. I became a secretary there. And then eventually I went ahead and my Mumbai association gave me the post of honorary secretary of Federation of Paper Traders Association.
All India.
All India.
Lovely.
So FPTA is basically a federation body of all paper traders in India, 35 associations, roughly around 6,000 members.
Lovely.
So I have served there as an honorary treasurer also, and I was the secretary for 6 years. Personally, for me, it is a learning graph. I came across various people from across India, all legends in their own way, and
I'm sure.
learned a lot. All my seniors. काफ़ी correspondence होता था गवर्नमेंटों के साथ about various topics, taxation हो या कभी कभी एंटी डंपिंग को प्रोडक्ट पे ला रहे हैं. So वहाँ पे भी सीखने को मिलता था. इंटरेक्शन विद द इंडियन पेपर मैन्युफैक्चरर्स एसोसिएशन, तो यहाँ पे इपमा और इंडियन एग्रो रिसाइकल वेरियस एसोसिएशन, साल में 1-2 बार उनसे भी मीटिंग होती थी. सो पर्सनल लेवल पे एज आई वाज आल्सो ग्रोइंग, माय बिजनेस वाज आल्सो ग्रोइंग. एसोसिएशन का ये भी एक बेस मुझे मिला वेयर आई केम अक्रॉस लॉट ऑफ पीपल एंड नॉलेज शेयरिंग हुआ, तो उससे भी मेरा ग्रोथ हुआ. एंड आई वुड से कि एसोसिएशन इज अवर लाइक it is very useful, एक एसोसिएशन का पार्ट होना.
How does it help?
फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल एज एन इंडिविजुअल, अगर समझो आज कल उठ के गवर्नमेंट बोलेगी कि मुझे कोटेड पेपर पे एंटी डंपिंग ड्यूटी लाना है, मैं एक लेटर लिखूंगा, ईमेल करूंगा, उसका एक वजन नहीं, ओके नोट होता है, बट एज एन एसोसिएशन ऑफ 6,000 मेंबर्स, व्हेन यू राइट टू अ गवर्नमेंट हैज टू टेक अ नोट ऑफ इट.
Correct.
सो we help in resolving the problems of our fellow members.
Any example?
Like for example, हमारे पैन इंडिया वेरियस एसोसिएशंस हैव दिस आर्बिट्रेशन कमेटी, wherein अगर कोई प्रॉब्लम होती है, एज यू वर मेंशनिंग कि समझो मेरा कोई प्रिंटर मुझे पेमेंट नहीं दे रहा है, मेरा कोई कस्टमर मुझे पेमेंट नहीं दे रहा है, तो इफ आई गो एंड कंप्लेन टू माई एसोसिएशन,
Okay.
they have a format. So I have to give them all the details in that format and give my form to the association. There is a committee, there is a chairperson for that committee. They will review the form on the merit of it, and then they will write to the opposite party, asking them to give their side of the story, because obviously they cannot go with one side of the story.
Right.
So we write to them and we request them, if this is the complaint we got against you, so if you can give us time, if you can come to our office in association, or you call us, then 3-4 members of that committee will go and visit that party and give your part of the story.
Correct.
If they agree, then that meeting is fixed. Individual पहले हो जाती है, फिर together we try to arbitrate. And majority cases में we come
so
to
this is a amazing help for these small paper traders जिन लोग अटक जाते हैं.
100%.
And are all the paper traders aware of this kind of a service?
Yeah, they are aware. I would say कि full utilization अभी भी नहीं होती. I don't know, there is some hesitance.
डर लगता होगा कि मेरा कस्टमर ले जाएगा
या मेरा नाम आ जाएगा और इसको इतना पैसा इतना, तो वो टाइप का माइंडसेट है. बट आई थिंक देयर इज नथिंग टू वरी. पैसा बाकी है,
अपना ही पैसा, मेहनत का पैसा.
तो आई थिंक वी शुड ट्राई एंड
सो बट देन हाउ डज इट वर्क? अगर जैसे XYZ प्रिंटर है, उसने पेमेंट किसी से पेपर ट्रेडर से लिया है, तो वो नाम दोनों का पता चलता है, या इट्स ओनली द लिस्ट ऑफ पीपल हु हैव नॉट पेड?
No. So in our Mumbai association, I'll give an example of Mumbai association.
Okay.
We have a board committee.
Okay.
तो हमारी board committee में होता क्या है? Every month, first week of every month they meet. We have to give them the list of our outstanding in a sealed envelope to the association, and they compile the list.
So a list of full outstanding या only after 6 months?
After 180 days.
6 months.
हाँ.
Okay.
So basically जो overdue हो चुका है.
हाँ.
6 months is overdue by standards.
Yeah.
एक रीजनेबल टाइम के बाद ओवरड्यू है कि अगर समझो मैंने 90 डेज क्रेडिट दिया तो उसके बाद भी वो और 90 डेज हो चुका है.
हाँ.
सो उसके बाद वो कंपाइल होता है, एंड वो कंपाइल होने के बाद पता चलता है कि कौन से प्रिंटर में ट्रेडर्स के कितने पैसे हैं. दैट इंडिविजुअल नेम किसी के पास नहीं जाता है.
अच्छा.
सो दैट इज ऑलवेज
दैट इज विद द कमिटी.
दैट्स विद द एसोसिएशन.
वो कॉन्फिडेंशियल.
ओके.
आई थिंक इट्स एन अमेजिंग सर्विस.
बेसिकली ऐसा है, होता है ना कि वी शुड नो कि इंडस्ट्री का पैसा किसमें कितना लगा हो.
करेक्ट. यू गेट टू नो. अगर XYZ प्रिंटर ने किसी से 20 लाख लिया है, किसी से 25 लाख लिया है, टोटल 1 करोड़ लेके बैठा, और भी लोगों से ले रहा है, सो पीपल हैव टू बी केयरफुल.
तो इससे एक आइडिया होता है, आई ओपनर होता है. नंबर्स इनिशियली तो एक्चुअली आई ओपनर्स थे.
राइट.
सो या, बट इट इज एन हेल्पफुल टूल. वो हेल्प होती है सबको. हम भी क्लोज आते हैं, हम भी रेगुलर मिलते हैं, तो एक हमारा भी एक जो होता है एक दूसरे पे ट्रस्ट बढ़ता है.
सुपर.
और भी एसोसिएशन एक्टिविटीज होती है. लाइक वी एग्जांपल 1 अगस्त इज सेलिब्रेटेड एज पेपर डे. सो वी वांट टू गो टू द जनरल पब्लिक. और एक जो मिथ क्रिएट होती है ना पेपर के बारे में, कि पेपर यूज इज लाइक कटिंग, यू नो, सेव पेपर सेव ट्री. सो वो एक जनरल एक मिसकंसेप्शन जो हो जाती है पब्लिक में, और वो फिर बोलता है कि नहीं यार मुझे ई स्टेटमेंट चाहिए. बट ई स्टेटमेंट कोई ना कोई तो प्रिंट करता ही है ना.
करेक्ट.
सो पेपर खाली कॉर्पोरेट का बचता है, उसका प्रिंटिंग एंड कुरियर कॉस्ट बच जाता है.
करेक्ट.
सो दे हैव क्रिएटेड दिस होल थिंग अबाउट, यू नो, फीलिंग गिल्टी इफ आई एम यूजिंग पेपर. वी वांट टू रिमूव दैट गिल्ट. Like any resources, we should not waste any resources. So paper should also not be wasted. But
so what is your take? What do you say that paper is like? It is a renewable,
biodegradable paper, sustainable product है, recyclable है. आप उसको multiple times recycle कर सकते हो.
Right.
और ऐसे तो नहीं है कि जंगल में जाके पेड़ काट के पेपर बना देते हैं. There's a method, there's a pulp plantation, proper plantation से बनता है. फार्मर को इनकम क्रिएट होती है. दैट इज हाउ. और सबसे शॉकिंग तो है कि इंडिया के अंदर मोर देन 50-60% पेपर तो आज भी एग्रो बेस्ड रिसाइकल ग्रेड से ही बनता है.
अच्छा.
दैट काइंड, बट ऑब्वियसली वी डोंट हैव द मनी पावर, मार्केटिंग पावर लाइक ऑल द बिग कॉर्पोरेट्स. कांट मार्केट दैट वे. सो हमने हमारा ये 1 अगस्त पेपर डे निकाला है, एंड विद द हेल्प ऑफ ऑल द मिल्स ऑल्सो नाउ. Mills have also started coming in and helping us now.
Right.
On 1 August, we celebrated as a festival, Pan India, all paper traders.
Lovely.
So we take.
And this is a national day, or?
So we want to make it as a national paper day. The roadmap is there. Maybe, hopefully, in a few, maybe 1 or 2 years, we will be able to get it from the government as a national paper day. We are working on that.
You were telling something about the stamp also.
Yeah. So we've when we started this concept. On the first paper day, we released a paper stamp.
Lovely. I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah. So,
किसने सोचा नहीं होगा कि ऐसे?
हमारे ये Mr. Bala Subramaniam from Coimbatore and his son Deepak.
अच्छा.
So brilliant, and the whole design.
They are also paper traders.
Yeah, they are paper traders from Coimbatore. Mr. Bala sir is our ex-president of FPTA.
Lovely.
And I think his son Deepak, he worked hard. We have to, so there's a process to get a stamp done from
I'm
the
sure. You have a lot of
government.
approvals.
So you need to first create a design, submit the design, get it approved, and then there is a number of prints you have to do and get it distributed and all that things.
Lovely. I think this is the first time anything in the paper, print, packaging, plastic industry has been taken to that stage, no?
Yeah, and it's a beautiful stamp. I'll share it with you.
Please, please do.
I'll send it to you. You
Please.
can have it. It's a very nice stamp.
We'll put it in the video for our people to see.
Yeah, sure.
That's nice, super. So ये जो in terms of आप कह रहे हैं कि paper और in terms of plastic and all that laminate होता है and all this thing. So what are your views around that space?
I think मैं किसी और इंडस्ट्री को भी नेगेटिव, जैसे मेरी इंडस्ट्री को कोई नेगेटिव दिखाता है, आई डोंट लाइक इट. आई डोंट वांट टू से नेगेटिव अबाउट एनीथिंग. वन थिंग इज फॉर श्योर, सिंगल यूज प्लास्टिक पे कंट्रोल होना चाहिए, बिकॉज दैट इज वेयर द मैक्सिमम नंबर ऑफ वेस्ट इज गेटिंग जनरेटेड एंड विच इज हार्मफुल टू द एनवायरमेंट. और जो मुझे लगता है कि उसका नेक्स्ट ऑप्शन वेयर वी कैन यूज इज पेपर. तो इफ यू सी नाउ गुटखा एक इंडस्ट्री where people have started using, पहले जो सैशे थे वो अभी अब क्रोमो पेपर्स गुटखा पेपर
पे आ गया.
सो उस पे आ गया. अभी स्ट्रॉ पेपर आप देख रहे हो.
करेक्ट.
सो लाइकवाइज सो मेनी इंडस्ट्री में स्कोप है
करेक्ट
पेपर का. एंड आई थिंक दैट इज व्हाई पेपर एज अ चॉइस ऑफ कमोडिटी विल ऑलवेज बी देयर.
या श्योर.
ऑलवेज बी देयर. एंड विद द काइंड ऑफ बूस्ट वी आर गोना गेट विद मेक इन इंडिया नाउ एंड वेरियस एजेंसीज लाइक इंडियन IMF बोल दो, वर्ल्ड बैंक बोल दो, हर तरह से आपको हर जगह से पता चलता है कि दिस इज लाइक नेक्स्ट 20-30 years विल बी इंडियाज टाइम. यहाँ पे ग्रोथ है. इवन इफ वी टॉक अबाउट 6.5-7% ग्रोथ फॉर GDP विथ अवर काइंड ऑफ पॉपुलेशन ऑफ 140 crore एंड यंग पॉपुलेशन वेयर 50% ऑफ द पॉपुलेशन इज बिलो द एज ऑफ 30. कंजम्पशन यहाँ है. सो मैन्युफैक्चरिंग यहाँ होना ही है. और जो चीज़ मैन्युफैक्चर होगा उसको पैकिंग करना ही है. सो आई थिंक देयर इज अ ह्यूज स्कोप ऑफ पेपर इन दिस इंडस्ट्री. अगर हम वन सिंगल यूज प्लास्टिक और इवन अच्छी वाली प्लास्टिक को अगर पेपर से हम रिप्लेस करते हैं तो बहुत बड़ी डिमांड है.
करेक्ट. ऑन दिस नोट मेरे को आपको ये बोलना था, आपने जो अभी ये बताया जो ह्यूज पोटेंशियल है, पर हमारे इंडस्ट्री को तो वो दर्जा भी नहीं है कि हमको एक इंडस्ट्री बोलते हैं, हम तो एक सर्विस है. तो वो आई मीन यू डन सम फिनोमिनल वर्क विथ योर टीम विद अदर पीपल इन द इंडस्ट्री, इन द पेपर ट्रेडर्स एसोसिएशन. आपका क्या थॉट्स है? आई मीन हाउ डू यू टॉक टू द प्रिंटिंग इंडस्ट्री?
ये थोड़ा सैड पार्ट है दोनों, पेपर इंडस्ट्री के लिए एंड प्रिंट इंडस्ट्री के लिए, दैट इन स्पाइट ऑफ बीइंग वन ऑफ द हाईएस्ट एम्प्लॉयमेंट जनरेटर, यू नो.
अच्छा, इज इट?
हाँ, या इफ यू सी, आप प्रिंट इंडस्ट्री में आप देखो एक प्रेस में कितने लोग लगते हैं. सिमिलरली इन अवर पेपर इंडस्ट्री वेयर हाउस है, वेयर हाउस कीपर है, टेम्पो ड्राइवर है, हमाल है, अकाउंटेंट है, मार्केटिंग पीपल है. सी वी आर MSMEs,
राइट,
बट हमारी स्प्रेड बहुत बढ़िया. अनफॉर्चुनेटली हम फ्रेगमेंटेड है.
करेक्ट.
ये एसोसिएशन लेवल पे थोड़ा सा और हार्ड वर्क करके उसको हमारे को गवर्नमेंट को ये दिखाना है, द नंबर्स, दैट वी आर द बैकबोन, एक्चुअल बैकबोन ऑफ दिस,
the manufacturing growth story that we are talking about.
Yes. And we are the one. हम फॉर एग्जाम्पल मैं हमारा पेपर ट्रेडर को बोलता हूँ, हम लोग तो सर्विस एजेंट है. हम GDP कलेक्ट करके गवर्नमेंट को देते हैं, सर्विस टैक्स कलेक्ट करके गवर्नमेंट को देते हैं. हम तो सब कलेक्ट करते हैं गवर्नमेंट को देते हैं. बेसिकली वी आर वर्किंग फॉर फ्री फॉर द गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया. एवरी मंथ हम GDP कलेक्शन करते हैं ना. हम तो क्या करते हैं, हम लोग कस्टमर को GDP चार्ज करते हैं. कस्टमर का पैसा आया कि नहीं आया?
GST,
सॉरी GST. मैंने GST मैंने आपको लगा दिया, मेरे उसमें रिफ्लेक्ट हो गया. मुझे तो गवर्नमेंट को 20 तारीख को भरना है.
हाँ.
मेरा वाले कस्टमर मेरे को 60 डेज पे दे रहा है, वो पैसा 90 डेज पे दे रहा है. वर्किंग कैपिटल मैं लगा रहा हूँ, यानी मुझे पैसा आया भी नहीं, वो मैं कस्टमर वो पैसा मैं गवर्नमेंट को दे रहा हूँ, रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी लेके. तो आई थिंक गवर्नमेंट इज वर्किंग. आई एम श्योर हमारे MSME मिनिस्टर मिस्टर नारायण राणे है, अभी बीच में उनसे भी मीटिंग होने की बात हो रही थी. उसके पहले मिस्टर नितिन गडकरी थे, तो उनसे भी हमने लेटर्स दिए थे, मीटिंग हुई थी. गवर्नमेंट इज प्रोएक्टिव, वो सुनते हैं. थोड़ा सा टाइम ज़्यादा जा रहा है, बट आई एम श्योर इट विल वर्क आउट. एंड हमारे को जो इम्पोर्टेंस होनी चाहिए इन द इंडस्ट्री वो मिलनी चाहिए.
वो मिलना ज़रूरी है. नहीं तो हम वो हमारा एग्जिस्टेंस में ये नहीं है कि हमारा अगर पेमेंट के दौर पे हम लोग अगर लास्ट रहेंगे, यानी हमारे प्रिंटर्स तो वो लास्ट रहेंगे, तो वो उनके जो वेंडर्स है उनको लास्ट करेंगे, एंड देन द एंटायर इकोसिस्टम इज डिस्टर्ब.
या आई थिंक जैसे अब एडवांस कंट्रीज में होता है ना, देयर शुड बी सम काइंड ऑफ सिक्योरिटी फॉर दी बिजनेस फैकल्टी, यानी फिर वो प्रिंट हो या पेपर ट्रेडर हो, हमारे को कुछ सपोर्ट होना चाहिए गवर्नमेंट से.
Any suggestions you have that you can think of?
No, तो हमने
of that?
वी हैव एक्चुअली दिस थॉट, अभी इसको कोई फॉर्मलाइज नहीं किया हुआ है, पर अगर हमको एक पेंशन वाला स्कीम दे दे, समझो हम 25 या 30 ईयर एक कंपनी चलाते हैं, रेगुलरली हम GST भरते हैं और टैक्सेस भरते हैं, ये भरते हैं, तो सैलरी वाले को तो वो पेंशन, हमारे को कुछ नहीं मिलता है. तो एक ऐसा गवर्नमेंट हमारा टर्नओवर बेस पे एक नक्की करे कि हाँ ये कंपनी ने ये GST ID है, ये
contribute
पैन
किया.
नंबर पे इतना हमारे साथ कंट्रीब्यूट कर रहा है, तो एक कुछ उसके बारे में होना चाहिए कि उसको कुछ तो बेनिफिट मिले.
It could be for all MSMEs, and not only for paper.
Why only print and paper?
Everyone.
I think for everybody.
Yeah, especially जो छोटे कंपनीज है,
Exactly.
जो बड़े हैं उनके पास assets होते हैं, बहुत कुछ
Exactly.
होता है. That's a good thought. I'm sure if someone is listening from the government, they could probably
Yeah, and
go and
we
take
should
it for
actually
discussion.
keep on writing to the government.
Yeah.
हम सोचते हैं कि लिखने से कुछ होता नहीं, बट आई थिंक वी शुड कीप ऑन राइटिंग. वो कभी ना कभी राइट कान पे पड़ेगा तो
करेक्ट. वो तो मेहनत करते हैं, जैसे हम अभी बात कर रहे हैं, अगर कोई किसी ने सुन लिया तो वो भी इसके ऊपर.
अगर मुंबई printers have some very good people in their association. So
I think FIME is doing pretty.
FIME is the hero of everybody, all printers. वो जो काम
most
करते हैं
loud.
अपने members के लिए, I think hats off to him. Coming up with different ideas, you know, right from their print summit to they have this group. What is their
share to benefit.
share to
STB.
benefit. So yeah, a lot of things he does for the print faculty, and yeah.
He helps me also. He keeps sending me names that you should interview this person.
I have a
I'm
good
waiting to get his
relationship
time.
with Bhai. And we keep on sharing once in a while on WhatsApp about our industry individually. Yes.
Lovely. That's great. You know, is there any question that I missed to ask you? Is there something that you feel कि अरे ये पूछना चाहिए था मेरे बारे में, सबसे ये तो important है?
नहीं, ऐसे कुछ मिस आउट तो मुझे नहीं लग रहा है, बट
I think there is one. I just wanted to know whether you're going to pick that or not. You are one of the only guys in the industry who's on the brand of who's the face of a brand. Sorry, who's the face of a brand? Tell us about that story.
Okay, so talking about ICICI Bank.
No one in the industry has that privilege.
So yeah, ICICI Bank का जो it was my chance, you know. I consider myself lucky.
आप तो बहुत modestly बोल रहे हो, but please tell them, and it should be.
So when I joined ICICI Bank, they had this trade online portal at that time started. Export import portal है उनका, जो आप कोई भी documentation with, you know, hassle free from the comfort of their office you can do it. So they had a lot of issues and a lot of bugs in that software at that time. And at one of the meet of MSME in Sahara Star, I remember, and I was very new at that time. My account was only, I think, 6-8 months old. So we met in MSME, this Sahara Star, and we met, I don't remember the name right now, the head of the retail trade at that time of India, ICICI Bank. He was interested in me because of my association, Federation of Association, I was the secretary. So they introduced that he is our new account holder and he's also the secretary of FPTA. So he wanted how we can get more paper traders into ICICI Bank net, and also we started discussing on that. And then he asked me about the services of ICICI Bank compared to my previous bank and all that. So I said they are good, but there are some problems, and I was very honest about it. And he said, what are the problems? So I said, when I use this portal, these are the things which I face problem, and you should have this. So he got interested when I suggested him 2-3 points.
Okay.
And then he said, please, can we just, because that was a cocktail party going on, dinner and cocktail, and we went to a small conference room. He called the head of the product software
particular department.
And we sat for around half an hour, 45 minutes discussing that product. And
lovely.
They took all the suggestions what I gave them.
Okay.
And in the next 3-4 months, they, I think, did a very good job with that portal, and it turned out well. So then they wanted to market that trade online, and they requested that, the head of the retail trade at that time, he said, instead of having a paid actor coming on screen and, giving a review about our product, it is better that a genuine customer comes and gives a review. And they took my permission, and I said, I am okay with that. So I think we made a small 3-minute video. First was a 3-minute video, which we did for that portal. And this was pre-COVID. And then this COVID thing happened and everything was shut and people could not travel, there were restrictions on the banking hours and everything. And it was all the more, they wanted to do this faceless transaction,
Yeah.
the comfort of your house at that time or whatever,
Right.
you don't have to visit the branch. And they wanted to do a print campaign, massive campaign. I did not know at that time. They only told me that now the management wants that since you are already there in the video, can we do a print campaign on this? So I thought maybe, okay, let's do it. So we did a print campaign and we did a small shoot in my office. And I was not aware of the scale at
that time.
It took 2 months for everything to formalize because I did the shoot, I think, somewhere in November. And on 12th Jan, I got a message from my RM that, sir, you will be on the front page of ET tomorrow.
Lovely.
So at that time, I was wondering what is it all about. And this day, I was there on the front page of ET Pan India.
Wow.
And then it was Mint, Business Standard, various financial papers and in regional languages. It was a 2-3 month, very, very, very huge campaign done by ICICI Bank at that time.
Yeah. My checkbook has your photo.
Yeah.
Lovely. So happy to meet you.
But that is all luck. I thank God for this opportunity because obviously they must be
You would have also seen something in you, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And it's a nice thing and it is a nice recognition for the industry. They have so many industries,
Yeah.
but they picked you. They picked a person from our industry. It's a matter of great pride for all of us. It's nice.
Thank you. I thank God for this because for me, I remember on the 13th, my phone did not stop ringing. My phone was loaded with all WhatsApp messages and
I'm sure.
And I've taken the screenshot and made a separate folder for it as my memory. For
Memories,
my
yeah.
I got some beautiful comments from my colleagues, from friends, from various paper traders across India.
I'm sure. Lovely.
And the best part is, I don't know whether I should say this or not.
Please.
From that day onward, if you see the share price of ICICI Bank and the growth and the results of ICICI Bank, so it's been phenomenal. The growth story.
So you are their lucky basket.
So actually the friends they tell me that.
अच्छा तो आपकी वजह से हिरेन भाई देखो आईसीआईसीआई का शेयर कैसे दौड़ा
एटलीस्ट मैं क्रेडिट ले सकता हूँ है कि नहीं मुझे मालूम नहीं
क्रेडिट तो ले ही सकते हैं डेफिनेटली that's superb and thanks for sharing. I mean, I did get to see your photograph and then knowing that you're going to be here, I had to ask you this.
Thank you.
Great. So now you mentioned about COVID and paper industry. I think we need to, address that thing also. So how did you manage and what do you think generally the paper industry managed COVID and how it has been? I mean, it might be tough for specialty papers.
It was very tough. I can say one of the most challenging time. You were asking about my journey and what challenges I faced.
Yeah.
Actually, I should have mentioned it at that time. ये कोविड के जो 6 महीने थे ना, most challenging. So I remember, I think around 21st of March, things that
lockdown आ गया था
and then it never opened and only the essential items में हमारे जैसे डुप्लेक्स FBB बोर्ड क्राफ्ट वालों ने थोड़ा
फार्मा के लिए जो चाहिए
जो किया था लेटर्स होके उनको परमिशन मिल गई थी. हमारा तो वो कोई कैटेगरी में आ ही नहीं रहा था. So we were completely like sitting at home. I remember till June I was at my home only. Don't know what to do. I have a very small circle of friends from my paper traders. We had 9 of us. Every evening, 5 to 6, we used to do a Zoom call, video conference. And we used to keep on talking. So they're all very close buddies and from all, in their own segment, they're all very good. So we used to keep on discussing things, how are things going on and all that things. हमारे लिए importer के लिए problem क्या था? Our consignments were at the port.
Correct.
They were stuck. And initially, there was this notification from government that, okay, there will be no detention damage. But in reality, we started getting emails from the shipping companies that, boss, we are not an Indian company. आपका इतना दिन हो गया, इतना detention already हो चुका है, इतना damage already हो चुका है.
Oh my.
Because why should we bear the losses?
Yeah.
Because we are a private company. Government is not going to compensate us.
Correct.
I think we then, as association, also wrote to the government the problems faced by the members. We also individually wrote to the government. And कहीं ना कहीं government ने फिर थोड़ा सा pressure tactic किया. Because obviously these were extraordinary times.
Yeah.
Never seen before. 100 year में एक बार जैसा Spanish flu के बाद हुआ था.
Correct.
So थोड़ा सा प्रेशराइज करने के बाद थोड़ा सॉफ्ट हुए थे ये लोग. ओके सो वी विल वेव 50% ऑफ 40% ऑफ समथिंग लाइक दैट. वो जो भी था एक बार हमने तो वो पीरियड वॉज सो यूनिक. देयर वॉज नो प्लेस इन माई वेयर हाउस बिकॉज इट वॉज स्टक. My outstanding was due and it was not coming because obviously printers were not working.
Correct.
They did not have their customer paying them.
Correct.
कस्टम में मटेरियल लगा वो मैं जब तक पैसा नहीं दूंगा मेरा डॉक्यूमेंट नहीं छूटेगा वो माल नहीं आएगा. सो मल्टीपल प्रॉब्लम्स, स्पेस प्रॉब्लम, फाइनेंस प्रॉब्लम, सेल प्रॉब्लम. सो
I'm sure.
I think things only gradually started improving, very gradually in fine paper. I'm particularly talking about fine paper right now. Only around Diwali time, October के आजू बाजू,
तभी better हुआ.
we got small sale, some hope, you know. हमने 2-3 महीना कुछ ऑर्डर ही नहीं दिया. सो जो था पाइपलाइन में उसको ही खाली करो. वहाँ पे जितने अच्छा our principal were very helpful. From Korea, my orders were pending. We requested them, please don't ship right now. There is no place. Same thing in Germany, Kohler. हमारे जितने भी suppliers ने वो support किया. They did not ship the material. They hold it for us.
Oh, lovely.
And जो माल यहाँ पे आ गया था.
So did you do any transition? I mean, in terms of specialty papers, वही scale में तो नहीं रहा होगा business.
No, it was only 10-15%. Fine paper was out of question. 5-star properties were shut at that time. So no stationery required, no menu cards required, no weddings were happening, no wedding card were required. Completely हमारा 10-15% सेल कहाँ हो रहा था. आज मैं सोच रहा हूँ वो कहाँ हो रहा था. Actually ऐसा था कि कुछ सेल ही नहीं था.
तो to get back to normal हो गया अभी थोड़ा बहुत.
Yeah, you can say normal हो गया. There is a permanent demand hit in some segment which is there.
वो तो ठीक है, part of the new way of doing life.
Whether it is fine paper or any coated grade और वो तो
हुआ ही.
हुआ है. आज वेडिंग कार्ड्स का स्केल नहीं है. अच्छा है तो भी now the new trend is only 100 wedding cards for their family members.
Correct.
The rest all is on PDF and
e-card.
So वहाँ पे हमारा हिट हुआ एग्जाम्पल. तो वैसे काफ़ी जगह पे हिट हुआ है. स्टेशनरीज आर लेस नाउ. मेनू कार्ड्स आज भी काफ़ी रेस्टोरेंट्स आर नॉट गिविंग यू मेनू कार्ड्स. बट आई थिंक देयर इज अ न्यू सेगमेंट ऑफ कॉफी टेबल बुक विच इज पिक्ड अप. सो विच इज गुड. Where I
demand जाता है एक जगह आता है. Glad to know that you you know obviously you had to survive but you know tied it over again, and many people in the industry would have.
No, so again saying that now we have tried new things in this lockdown period.
Okay, tell us something.
हम June July मैंने as I said there was hardly sale happening in the fine paper industry. So we were free like in the sense हमको काम चाहिए था. काम तो करे क्या काम करे. So at that time we started doing craft paper. So we small, you know, with some friends from the industry only, we told them कि भाई कुछ सिखाओ हमको. तो हमने हमारे एक अच्छे फ्रेंड है मिस्टर तुषार, उनसे थोड़ा हेल्प लेके हमने क्राफ्ट का चालू किया. सो नाउ वी आर स्टिल डूइंग क्राफ्ट. अदर ग्रेड्स हमने बहुत सारी नई ग्रेड्स ये कोविड में शुरू कर दी एंड विच वी थिंक इज द ग्रोथ एरिया. In fine paper also we have started focusing on the packaging part of fine paper.
Okay.
So we've imported a lot of covering grades now. So which are used in say jewelry boxes,
Lovely.
Watches, perfumes, cosmetics. So yeah, I think
transition हो गया. You've been able to.
In fact हमको एक आई ओपनर था कि ओवर कॉन्फिडेंट होकर हमने सारा जो प्रोजेक्शन बनाया था कि हमको तो पता ही नहीं कोविड आने वाला था. हाँ अगले 10 साल इतना ग्रोथ है, ये है वो है, इतना करेंगे. Everything was shattered, you know.
I'm sure in terms of how it would have been and how you would have managed.
Most tough period of my life was that 6 months, you know, handling that 6 months in terms of sale, finance and storage, so many things. हमारे आदमी जो फाइन पेपर मार्केटिंग कर रहे थे उनको, और तभी हमारे दूसरे ग्रेड आते ही नहीं थे. फिर हमने ऑफिस में उनको दूसरे ग्रेड के मार्केटिंग करना सिखाया. बिकॉज अगर वो नहीं करेंगे तो हम कैसे
सर्वाइव कैसे करेंगे.
एग्जैक्टली.
करेक्ट. Lovely, amazing conversation. I would want to keep dragging this, ask you so many questions. आपका इतना experience रहा है 25-26 साल का, but I think let's keep it for another day. We'll have more questions. I have last 2 questions for you. One is in terms of I got to know about you from a reference from the industry. Yeah, definitely Hiren Bhai Karna. He's a powerhouse of energy. He's done a lot of work. You should talk to him. ऐसे आपके मन में कोई है जिनको हम we should reach out and who would be good stories to share with our viewers?
So I think you have a lot of options there.